lot of time preparing for these difficult conversations. So what I'm now going to do is the last thing for you. I mean, this is very interesting, and I think you should look into it because it does have a lot to offer you. What I've got here is a list of 12 things we have talked about, excluding today, but I want to know how you're going to know which of the teachers in your school need your support. It's very good that you are discussing these things, but unfortunately now you're going to have to take it back to your school and have these discussions, right? Because really we just touched on this issue of support, mainly because I don't know what advice to offer, but that is something you'll take ownership over. And you have to think of the implications. Now, I have tried this before, almost unsuccessfully in some ways, to try and get teachers to, first of all, acknowledge that they're... Oh, by the way, I'm having these collected in case, if you can sort of put them together, just those ones, not the others. What I'm thinking, we have some data. We do have some data. What I've done before is I have done this in schools. I've asked schools to think about this issue. How would you know? Now, you're not in a position so much because you actually do have some sort of criteria that we have sent out to schools. Basically, I think Alina actually sent them out at one point saying, to the last batch of schools, saying these are the things that we were hoping you are doing. And they're on your list. Left out the Ds because we did those today. But they're on your list. That list you've got there. About 15 principles in total. But if someone's not doing them, or doing the opposite, which could be worse, what are you going to do about it? And I do have some data which talks about this. This is what people have said to me. They want certain... Now, these are some of the ones you've looked at, yeah? They find these things very helpful. I put together definitely helpful. This is a different survey. Definitely helpful and probably helpful. And in that, and it's in the book. So there are things that they do acknowledge that they would like. Now they say it, but that when you approach them, they're not likely to be as helpful. And that's going to be the self-talk kicking in. What I need to know is how to do this well. So that's what I'm hoping you will start to feed back, and you're getting the coaching input and you're getting the evaluation input, because I think without data like these to feed back to people, see, once a staff would agree, and I can give you those questionnaires to use anytime you want, but once a staff would agree that certain things are helpful, that empowers you, even if you're 15 years younger than they are, to say, is there any way I can help you achieve this sort of thing? So I think it's really interesting to think your way through some of this. And I haven't got any answers here at all. So I'm really, in a way, just opening up the discussion, because I know it gets very difficult. When you look at the kinds of things teachers say are problematic, it's standard stuff. It's all the stuff that came out in the research. Yelling in anger. Oh, I haven't got any. Yelling in anger, sending kids out without intermediate steps, all that sort of stuff you are familiar with. So there won't be any surprises for you. You could step back from the research and actually rediscover this stuff in your own school and be driven by your own data, if that's what interests you. Now, we've got literally minutes. As a result of all of this, what would you like to raise? What questions do you want to raise? What observations do you think are relevant that people in this room might benefit from? Because I really opened up a couple of things here very, very quickly, just because I think I need to touch base with them, not because there's time to do them justice. You should know, by the way, I will be teaching a summer school on this very same stuff next January. So if you have staff, and I'll be doing it during the summer holidays, so that if you have a staff member you think might benefit in their game or willing to come, by all means it's available. There'll be other things. If you look at critical agendas, I'm doing one-day revision of these kinds of skills for critical agendas. So again, one of the things you might offer, if you believe in the coaching, if you believe it's skills related, then there are opportunities for skilling up. But it won't all be skills related. And the thing we mentioned at the very beginning of this program, which I have to alert you to, is that PGS business, post-guru syndrome. meaning you'll put something in place, some teachers will bite, they'll improve a little bit, and then they'll fall back and feel really, really bad. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to work with that as best you can. And I think we'll know more about what's successful in the support thing as the program moves forward. Any observations? Because I've seen a principal here the other day who had a nice working program involving, first of all, people like yourselves practicing, then modelling, then even being videoed and presenting videos to staff, then expecting staff to be observed, and then expecting staff to sort of do self-evaluation. So they had a process in their mind as to how they'll gently lead over the next year or so staff into more and more exposure about what they're actually doing in classrooms. The exit form is a clear, simple way of giving data on teachers. Whether you use it on teachers or not is scary, so I suggest first you use it on the school and you look for school progress. Then you at least feed the teachers information back to the teachers who, in a sense, are falling behind the school. So you could give their data and the school's data, which is what I do in supervision. It's not threatening. No one else sees it except the teacher. And any other ideas that you have that come to mind, I'll be overjoyed. I'll give you my email again just in case, because this is the exploratory part for me. But I do say keep an eye out for the skills stuff, because I know I've got one in November with critical agendas, and I know the summer school's coming. Next year there'll probably be other opportunities as well. But it would be really useful for some of your staff who you want on board, for example, to encourage them to get involved with this sort of experientially. Okay, any questions? All right, so you've got an evaluation for Lena, yes? All up on the web. No, they will be. Anything I've distributed here will be up on the web. Anything I even flash through will be up on the web. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done.
Okay, thanks everyone. Just before you go, a very big round of applause for Professor Ramon Lewis.